I'm on a journey to get the Platinum Trophy in every single Borderlands game. We've already done the pre-sequel, but because I'm a filthy completionist, we're back for the 100% today. People hated this game, so there was actually only 2 DLCs that got released and 2 new characters instead of the usual 4, so it might be a bit shorter today. The Claptastic Voyage. Our first adventure takes us to platform 13.5. We should probably buy Claptrap a few drinks because we're about to go inside them. And who are we gonna do it with? I hear you shout at your screen. It's the Ice Queen herself. She hates bandits almost as much as she hates the poor. It's Lady Aurelia, the Baroness. I'll be honest, she is mostly a co-op character, but since I'm a lonely loner, we're going at this one solo, so I'm using the Let It Snow build. Jack has taken over Helios now and discovered something called the H source, which is basically the key to Hyperion. It's hidden inside the Claptrap circuitry, so we're being sent into the Matrix here to get it back for him. Also known as the Nexus, where we get to meet Claptrap's subconscious, will be our guide until we are attacked by bugs and computer viruses. The ad bug is so funny. It's just an enemy that does literally no damage but fills your screen with pop-up. Claptrap's inbuilt antivirus then thinks we're an enemy too. We get moved to the recycle bin and we have to fight our way out, avoiding these massive lasers, which I am not good at. I get dropped, but I find a security bot, a perfect chance for a second win if I wasn't terrible, bringing the one life to an end 2 minutes into the video. Round 2 with the lasers, they knock me again, and here is where my gamer ability comes in. This is all skill, 0 luck, as this defenseless ad bug wanders over to me. I then have to fight some insecurity bots, and I think it's a good time to talk about the snowman build here. My skill tree is all ice. The more frost damage I do, it stacks to do even more, and my action skill is basically maze ult. It freezes anything nearby, so I can shatter it into a million pieces. We find out the H source is hidden inside a memory, so we have to load into it, and I really like this transition. It's really cool. We're in Firestone fighting digital bandits and psychos. I am under-leveled here, but the ice build is so strong that it simply doesn't matter. But it turns out this memory has been altered, so we need to find the missing bridge that we need to progress, fighting our way through this bad memory, taking out everyone, collecting the missing pieces. And this build is so satisfying to use, man. Flying over to people, getting them a little cold, and then turning them into cubes. So good. The final bridge piece though is deeper in the code, which is pretty much space, I guess, because there's low gravity now and I actually need to collect oxygen to survive. But the bridge is now built and I can happily progress. At least I would if it wasn't for this teeny tiny hole in the ground which I somehow find a way to fall through. But that memory finished, I travel on to the next, the Vault of the Destroyer. Don't worry though, it's already dead, but the Hyperion security isn't. Now it is. We start downloading the source, but we get detected by the admin and they move the code into quarantine. So that's where we gotta go next. Just one problem though. It's basically the Alcatraz island of Claptrap. Well, without the zombies. We have to defend our hackerbot as he breaks us inside. This reveals Shadow Trap and he offers to help us because if we can get in, then he can get out of his jail cell. So he sends us to where the override key should be. One tactical respawn later, which definitely weren't falling off the map again, I arrive at the Motherless board. I ride this blue beam across the place until I get ambushed by adaptive viruses. They are a nightmare though, because when you take them on, they change into an element you hit them with and become super resistant to it. And since I'm doing the Ice Baby challenge, they just become little icicles and take basically no damage from me. I put on my super suit and power through anyway, like melting an ice cube with more ice. To get the override key's location, I need to open this barrier. So I have to bait the viruses into throwing themselves into the deletion field, but this part's a little annoying because I have to damage them enough to charge at me, but there's a bunch of security bots, so I can't damage them too much, but the security bots will kill them. The location secured, the override key is actually in another memory, so we make our way over to Overlook, and for the first time in this little video series, I same frame myself. I kill the enemies so there's no one left and then die to damage over time, and there's no one around for a second win. I'm surprised it took me this long to do this actually. In Overlook, everyone is celebrating. They seem to love Claptrap. There's balloons, there's banners, and I do find the override, but we can't take it because again, this memory has been altered. We need to take down anything that wasn't real. We tear down all the love for the yellow fella and the memory resets. So now we need to find out what really happened so we can fix it. We're cosplaying as Claptrap here because we're helping set up some fireworks. Well, if you call helping me falling off the map again. How am I so bad at this? I have a super jump. Second try, I clear the gap and get attacked by glitches and even a threat pressure of denial that's trying to stop us finding out the truth. But I grab the fireworks, I place them down and fight off a final attempt to stop us as we launch the fireworks, which actually turn out to be explosives, destroying the entire arena, dropping it off a cliff. The memory resets again, but it still isn't quite right. A woman gives us a medicine package we need to deliver to the survivors of the arena explosion. So I fight another Thresher, I factory reset a few Digibots because we are pretty much forcing Claptrap to go through the trauma of his actions here. I get to the wounded people at the church and deliver the medicine, where Claptrap actually set the entire place on fire, burning down the church and smoking out any survivors. That's an entire bouquet of whoopsie daisies, but the key is now accessible for about 2 seconds before it's stolen by a digital Terramorphous. So I chase after it and take it on until I get uploaded to the clouds. I'm so underleveled here that I do reduced damage and basically die in one hit, so it feels like I'm back in Elden Ring here, fighting but mostly running for my life. There's even so much going on that I forget about my oxygen and almost suffocate to death, but I get back to my feet with just enough time to delete the big guy and get the override key. I use the key which frees the shadow trap, but now he knows about the H source, he takes it for himself, so we have to now hunt him down. Yeah, that scares the hell out of me every time. I've lost way too many recordings for this to not trigger me. I continue chasing down the shadow trap until he blocks the path. Claptrap's subconscious says he can open it, but he just needs motivation. We need to rescue his hope and self-esteem because both of them have been locked up many moons ago. I get dropped a lot here, but a lady such as myself doesn't simply die to any common robot, so I always find a way back to my feet. Hope and self-esteem have been corrupted into despair and self-loathing, so I have to take them out to free them. And this mini boss battle is honestly a mess of fire and ice, but without Jon Snow. Claptrap's subconscious now powered up. He opens the path until he reveals it was actually Shadow Trap in disguise. And thanks to us, he's more powerful than ever, so I have to chase after him through the subconscious itself. This part of the map is really cool, but it's also confusing. Everything's upside down and sideways, being too big or too small, and it completely messes with my head. Reminds me of playing Subliminal. But I fight my way through to the cortex, doing a little bit hardcore parkour in the process, and now we are in Claptrap's brain box, where we get attacked by a few more viruses that the H source is creating, and the security bots trying to stop it. I get dropped a few more times, and honestly, I'm amazed how little I am dying in this video. Foreshadowing, now I have to take out Shadow Trap himself. Self-esteem and hope boost his shield, so we have to take them out, but he can also duplicate himself, so you have to find a real one before he can recover health and shield, which I struggle to do. I get knocked down, but once again find a second wind before I light up this shadow. I grab the H source, and like that, we go back to Jack. Except, yeah, it's not Jack at all. It's Shadow Trap again. We literally just give him it back after getting it, so we need to hunt him down again. But since I'm super underleveled, why not take our first trip to our favorite place, Side Quest City? This rooting, tooting, sideways cowboy is challenging us to a duel. Although I'll be honest, I get attacked by a bunch of viruses and get down, and when I turn around, he was kinda sorta dead. He took himself out, I think, whilst the viruses were fighting me. I then find a music box, which we turn the dial. Oh, it's a Jack in the Box, I get it. He wants us to find out Claptrap's greatest fear, so we have to go into his nightmares. We find TK Baha on his anniversary of his wife's death, so we collect her favorite flowers, and so far there's nothing scary. So I give him the flowers and find out it's because since Claptrap was built as a helper robot, his biggest fear is about other people feeling lonely. Isn't that just adorable? And because of that, Claptrap's subconscious even brings back TK's wife. This triggers the security bots to come set it right, so we have to protect the star-crossed lovers, so at least even if it's just in Claptrap's mind, they can be together forever. And I survived this heroic battle for love just to kill myself falling into a hole again. You even see the hesitation here before I still decide to throw myself in. That's because I was actually lost. I can see the side quest on my map, but I have no idea how to get to it, so I'm just running around trying to find out the right path. Instead though, I try and find Nemo in the think tank, where I stumble across Tanis, who sends us on a treasure hunt for the Temple of Boom. I'll be honest, I've got no idea what any of this has to do with being in Claptrap's head anymore, but just roll with it. I find the Eye of Seeing, which literally spawns the temple in front of me, where there might as well be 3 big red balls, because I get wiped the fuck out. One blue tunnel sooner or later though, I realize it's full of traps. I get past them and I have to fight the Sphinx. But I wasn't locked in there with him, he was locked in there with me. Despite me being under-leveled, I smash him into a million pieces like an Easter egg, and I grab Claptrap's design code? I don't know, don't worry about it. What you should worry about is a giant boulder chasing me, and I'm so scared that even though I outrun it, I miss my jump and fall to my death again. This is crazy. How do I keep doing this? I then meet Claptrap's Dignity, and he asks us to kill him?
Because of the implication.
But I have to get corrosive weapon to do so. Sorry, buddy, I'll be right back. I then take him out. He's actually kind of a tank, and then throw my weapon off the map. Dignity sorted. Let's go help his ego by collecting all of his trophies so he can show off just how great he is. Look at this little fella. And then from little to large, I find this chunky lad lounging. He reminds me of those guys from wait, no, that's the old man movie, Wally, you know, the guys on the seats. He wants a drink while he relaxes, so I go find him some oil, a generator, and an Orbitron from Janie Springs. And when we give him everything he could ever want, he simply dies from happiness. Then we find superhero Claptrap. I've got no idea what's going on anymore, but we head to the crime scene to save the day, because there's a giant woman tied to the train track, and this super trap fights Rex Loader. Paint me yellow, because I'm here to fight the minion. And it turns out the woman on the track is actually Felicity, who we murdered in the main game. So I guess this is all just denial, so he can gaslight himself that he saved her instead of learning the truth where we took her the hell out. So then we decide to actually take out Super Trap so he can face what really happened. Claptrap then has a song stuck in his head. We're gonna do what we can to help him out. We have to kill this earworm, a fresher with two massive speakers blaring music. And once we do that, he gets another song stuck in his head. So we fight another and a third, giving us the actual music files. So we decide to destroy them. But halfway through, he panics that he actually loves those songs. You have to pull them out to crush her. What a waste of time. Speaking of wasting time, remember Minak from Borderlands 1, the giant version? They are back here, but they are a changed person. Well, robot, I guess. So I need to make them less threatening and more fun. I grab a basketball hoop, some spray paint, and I fight off a few digi-bandits and Trojans. Then Minak asks me to destroy his turrets and replace them with a bubble blower, and I even push this barrel uphill until I can make him fabulously pink. Now they are finally defenseless and happy. I then come across some cookies, because we get to decide if we want to delete the cookies, clearing Claptrap's browsing history, or we want to delete his sense of shame. And once again, history is written by the victor, but even more so, the lazy. He's right here. Die, die, die. Anyway, enough stalling. Let's go get my revenge against Shadow Trap. There's just one problem though. He has powered up a lot. Meet Eclipse, this giant robo mech version, where I get downed again, and again, but the fight just continues, man. I just don't die, assuming there's not a hole in the ground. And then when I take him out, he transforms into the entire Helios space station. It's got massive turrets, rocket launchers, and even a freaking Tony Stark chest laser that drops me in one hit. The fight continues. Well, until I get dropped again and again, but this time, finally, that blue light at the end of the tunnel calls my name. Second time around, they actually change up my build into sniping Aurelia. When I aim in, I get to choose what element to apply, so I can be super effective all the time. But I feel so squishy here, because I feel like I'm getting dropped in one hit, and because I can't aim in when I'm dropped, I can't use my special abilities, so I have to rely on my ability just as a gamer to land a banger of a no-scope. The sniper I have is actually a glitched rarity. It's a new one for this DLC, so it occasionally fires a stupid amount of bullets at once, and it feels so satisfying when it randomly triggers. And eventually the glitch effect happens right on the crit point, so it just melts it, getting me the H source and a legendary sniper. I give Jack the H source for real this time, and he decides to purge all of the Claptraps, wiping out the entire species of robo fellas, dumping the bodies in the snow. But the Shadow Trap uses the last of its life to keep himself alive, and that is why Claptrap, as we know and love him, is the last of his kind. We roll the credits here till we see Hammerlock pull him out the snow. And now, for the last time in this DLC, let's go to our favorite place briefly. Side Quest City! This time we're taking on a digital circle of slaughter. There's a bunch of different game modes here, and then there's modifiers. We have to do all of these to get the trophy, so it takes forever, and this is honestly super easy. It's just a grind. So I'm gonna save you the hours it took me and just show you this. For Holodome Onslaught, it's pretty much just Moxie's Underdome again, because it's just a death arena with a random side objective sprinkled into each one, which doesn't change anything we don't care about. Round 1, we turn on some jump pads and connect circuit breakers, but most importantly, importantly survive 4 rounds. And whilst I'm just fighting through all of these, I'm just gonna say how great playing the doppelganger is. Jack the doppelganger is just another Jack, but we can deploy even more fake Jack, and one of his skills is a bunch of bonuses. If you use Hyperion stuff, it's the company man skill. We have an entire Hyperion Jack build here, and it's just so fun to use. Round 2, we build a giant mech robot, which our reward for doing so is it fighting us, and we have to then kill it. Completely pointless. Round 3, I have to save a bunch of scientists and help them escape this time, even though again we're in Claptrap's head, so none of it matters. Round 4, I have to take on 3 mini destroyers, which is fun for all of 1 minute, and now it's back to fighting all of the 5 waves. Round 5, I pick up 3 vault pieces, so it's a little bit more hardcore parkour, but takes about 5 seconds, and then I have to do all 6 waves. And finally, the badass round. This one is somehow even more boring, because there's literally nothing to do here other than fight 7 whole waves, and I don't even get dropped, I don't even die. It's just underwhelming, so I'm just gonna skip to the end, man. This was the worst Borderlands game, the worst DLC in the Borderlands game, but at the end of the day, it's still Borderlands. I had a hell of a lot of fun, and I got to 100%. Thank you for watching this short one. Like and subscribe if you want. Love you lots.